All right, Crossroad Cues, I have a very special offer here for you that has some great legendary cue maker history, and it's got a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new. So what this is, and if you're watching this video, make sure you contact us because it's not going to last very long. You don't come into these very often anymore. So what it is, this cue just came out of the legendary shop in Pasadena, Maryland. There's the Phillippi Cues signature, the world famous Phillippi Cues signature. But what's really neat about this cue, now the majority of the Philippis that we sell here are made by Rick, who is the son of the late, great Mr. Richard Phillippi. Richard died almost 5 years ago. His legacy lives on through his son, Rick, who does a marvelous job. You guys have heard me brag upon how good his repair work is, his restoration work. The cues are phenomenal. They play phenomenal. They look phenomenal. There's not enough good things we can say about Rick. And what's interesting, if you look in the Blue Book of Cues, to give you an idea how close him and his dad worked hand in hand on many of these amazing cues, you will see a picture of both Richard and Rick in the Blue Book of Cues, because that's how much respect Richard had for his son, Rick, who does a great job all the way around. But nevertheless, here's what's neat about this. Rick told me a long time ago that he had a box or two of some cues that his dad was working on when he passed away, or that he was planning on completing before he passed away. So what this cue is right here, it was primarily built by Richard Phillippi, and then Rick just did the finish work on the cue. He put the finish and he added a very, 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 very high quality pigskin wrap. Now you say, what the heck is so high quality about pigskin? If you have not felt this before, there is a select grade of pigskin and boar's hide too, by the way, two different things, but similar in that respect. There is some old stock pigskin. I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up right here, okay? You can see the texture. So basically, this is black leather, of course, right? But the old stock stuff like this is not easy to source. A lot of the famous cue makers, some of the ones that I collect, when you feel the wrap, you say, wow, this is really, really, really good stuff. What it is, it's very hard for them to source this exact type of material. So there's other stuff that's out there, but this is really good stuff. Okay, so you can see that I'm not trying to put too much emphasis on the wrap, but it just feels that good. So I really want you to understand how awesome these wraps are. I've recommended these to people that usually do expensive exotic wraps. Okay, but back to this beautiful cue. You have 8 ebony points. These are straight ebony points. By the way, since this cue was started a long time ago and just completed, the joint is natural white. That's a radial pin, of course. The white inlays in each point that are also inlaid with diamonds made out of abalone right there. You can see that, okay? That is one thing that Mr. Phillippi used to love to use in his cues. A lot of his stuff, he would go over the top. In other words, you get a lot more bang for your buck. Notice the amount of work in this cue. You've got the white natural inlays, the abalone inlays, and then the end of each point, he goes over the top. He puts an abalone spear or circle, right there at the top, and then there's a spearhead in ebony as well. So let me show you the end result of that. When you spin it on the table, pay attention to the abalone. Look how it just shimmers in the light. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This cue actually has a butt weight to it of only 14.5. There's no weight bolt in there. You could always easily go up, but you can't come down. Ebony butt sleeve, also with all natural white large design inlays that are accented right in the middle. You look at that right there. How good is that? See that right there? There you go. Look at that abalone. I'm trying to give you a little bit of a close-up on that. There you go. Okay, so the cue is brand new, unchalked. I am priced on this cue for a fast sale. The price is the price. If you're watching this on social media, it's going to be under the post or in the post somewhere. You can see that we are priced just under $3,000. That is a steal for a Phillippi Cue with the provenance that this one has. Started by Mr. Richard Phillippi, then completed, of course, by his son Rick, who does a dynamic job with his cue work. With the amount of natural material in this cue, we could easily be way, way higher. You've seen that we put one up the other day. It sold in a matter of minutes because they just don't come up built like this anymore. Now you have two maple shafts, 13 millimeter shafts. One is 3.5, one is 4.0. Again, unchalked, unplayed, brand new Phillippi Cue from Pasadena, Maryland, just out of the legendary cue shop. Ready for immediate action. These things play better than they look also. Very solid and commanding hit. Top shelf construction. Rick notably works on, besides building his own cues, he works on some of the most expensive and collectible cues in the world. People trust him with everything you can think of, from Balabushka to Zambodi to Southwest and everything in between, because his craftsmanship is simply as good as it gets. Phillippi Custom Cue, brand new, ready to go at crossroadcues.com.